I'm Rob Rosenberry. I'm a physical therapist. I've been practicing for 30 years. I'm a certified orthopedic clinical specialist and have my doctorate in physical therapy also. I'm a certified manual therapist. In layman's terms, carpal tunnel syndrome is compression of the median nerve at the wrist. And in many people, it's due to excessive tissue pressure inside the tunnel that the median nerve runs through. And it reproduces symptoms of pain and numbness in the wrist. And sometimes the symptoms can radiate up the arm to the elbow or above the elbow. Typically, most of the braces that are made are cock-ups. So there's a stay in the front of the wrist, and it will hold the wrist in this position. This is considered a neutral position for the wrist, but it doesn't open up the carpal tunnel. The Keo Brace, very simply, is applied over the thumb and around the back side of the wrist like this. And it maintains the wrist, again, what we're calling the Keo position. And this position, I think I've mentioned before, MRI study demonstrated that it opens the carpal tunnel by up to 38% larger. And it's the only brace made that does this. Very comfortable, still allows movement for function, so you can use a brace not just as a night splint for comfort at night, but you can also use it during the day for typing or using a keyboard or mouse or other things. I've used it on one patient. I was introduced to the brace initially, patient Jerri, who's here today, and asked him to be willing to give it a shot. And he said carpal tunnel symptoms, and he'll tell you about it, for quite a long time, and he's actually tried the cock-up braces, I think, with not a lot of success, and he was willing to give the Keo Brace a try. And we put it on, and it worked well.
I've had carpal tunnel syndrome for probably 16 years. Sometimes the pain is so bad it runs up my arm all the way to my shoulder. And I've worn the old style brace all those years. And if I work too much on a computer, it takes days wearing the brace to relieve the pain. I've used those, and they're very rigid. With those on, you can't do anything. And they're not all equal. Some are better than others. Some are big, clunky things that keep you awake at night. And I didn't have much success with those. I came out for physical therapy. My neck was hurting, and Rob worked my neck, and I mentioned, can you do anything for carpal tunnel? Then he mentioned this brace, and they got me one to try, and started using it that night, and the very first night I could tell it was working. And I've worn it every night for about 6 weeks. And it's much better than the other braces. It's smaller, you feel more comfortable, and I'm really happy with it. Yes, I've always had this pain for the last 16 years, and pretty much constant, day and night I have pain. And putting a Keo Brace on has really helped relieve that pain. I noticed it the first time I wore it. I can work on a computer for hours at a time, which you're doing graphic art or something, you have to. And normally it would take days and days to get better. The second I put it on, I'm just better the next day. So I'm pleased with how it works, and I wouldn't want to try something else again.